Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. Are Manchester United about to do the incredible? Are they about to drop a new contract into Luke Shaw's lap? And do you agree we should? Because I tell you what, I checked out from the Luke Shaw club a long time ago, but when you look at this season, out of a possible 24 games, he's played 24 games. He's missed nothing. Is this the renaissance of Luke Shaw? Is he now like Bruno Fernandes? Is he gone bionic? What did he do last summer? People think about the film, What Happened Last Summer? Well, I'll tell you what did Luke Shaw do last summer? What has happened to Luke Shaw? Because when you look at the season before, he only played 12 games and he missed 54. And this season, he has not missed any. He's played left centre-back. He's now playing at left-back. Nothing can break him. He is invincible. So would you be handing Luke Shaw a contract considering he's going into his final year next year? Well, look, I think it's not that simple. It's a World Cup year. And statistically speaking, it's incredible what he's done. And credit where it's due. Without Luke Shaw this season, what would we do at left back? What would we do at left centre back? We've been missing Lisandro Martinez. We've been missing De Ligt. Dorgu, is he even a left back? So look, Luke Shaw has served a purpose this season. And the reality is he may be asked to serve that purpose next season and the season after that. However, let's take a look at the stats because the 2020 Euros didn't take place in 2020 because of COVID. So they took place in the 2021 summer. In the 2020-21 season, Luke Shaw played 47 games just before the Euros. In the 21-22 season, that dropped to 27 games. However, in 22-23, where the World Cup took place in the middle of that, it went back up to 47 games. It then went down, 23-24, 24-25, 15 games, 12 games. But now, with a World Cup on the horizon, he's played 24 games and not missed any. So there's a definitive correlation between major tournaments for England and Luke Shaw spiking in games for Manchester United. So I would be very concerned what would happen next season if you decided to drop a contract on him in the summer. I think there is a proven rhythm there that when England are playing a major tournament, it sparks something in Luke Shaw. And look, he may not admit that because it's probably not the best thing to admit, but he has done interviews in the past where he's spoken about how much he enjoys going off and playing for England. Obviously, there was the summer of the Euros 24, where he was actually out injured a lot for us that season, to be fair. It's the one where the correlation between increasing games doesn't work because he got injured for most of that season. And if you remember, he was injured from February until the FA Cup final and still went to the Euros despite never playing a game for Man United from February to the FA Cup final. Got back fit for the Euros and then came back injured for us. I mean, that was where I checked out, actually. I mean, that's where I come in and give you my opinion. For me, Luke Shaw, I was always a big fan of Luke Shaw. Roberto Carlos, even before that, I used to see people having a pop at him about his weight, his ability. I always felt he was a good player. I always thought he was one of the best left-backs in the league and therefore Europe, really. And I think there was a time where that was the case. But I checked out because of the injuries. I checked out because of the, in my opinion, prioritising England over Manchester United. You can't be injured for 4 months before a major tournament, go to the major tournament, then be injured for a few months afterwards. And that's prioritising England over Manchester United. And that's fine. But it's just not the way I work. So from that point with Luke Shaw, it's like, I'll give him credit for being fit this season and I'll give him credit for the performances. But I've checked out on Luke Shaw as a player for Manchester United. And also, what is he for Man United? He's been here for over 11 years. He's 31, is he? Is he 31? I think I'm right in saying that. 31 in the summer. So, no, there isn't a new contract. You've had nearly 12 years of wages. And Bruno's played nearly the same amount of games in 6. So I think Luke Shaw's had enough out of Manchester United. If he's going to run his contract down until the summer, that's fine. We've only got a year left to do. And he's certainly been very good for us this season. Respect. but respect the opinion that I think you've had enough out of Man United. I don't see you as a player for the future. I've seen you prioritising England, in my opinion, and I actually don't think he's that good at left-back anymore. I think at left centre-back, in a 3, it worked quite well. But now we're going to a back 4. I wouldn't play him as a left centre-back. And at left-back, I don't think he's got the legs. I don't think he's got the stamina. In fact, it'd be very interesting to see how he gets through the rest of the season as a left-back. I think Michael Carrick's going to have to really reduce down his intensity in training. And obviously, we're very fortunate that we've got 1 game a week. So, look, he's a well-liked player at Manchester United. There is talk of a short-term deal to extend it beyond 2027. I think that's dangerous. I think when you look back that we gave him a contract in 2023, and for the next 2 seasons, he barely played 15 games in each season, that contract was a mistake. Right now, it's been good, but as I said, I think it's time to move on. I think a left-back is a priority for Manchester United in the coming summer transfer window, and I think we need to move past this type of thing. Manchester United, I don't blame Luke Shaw, by the way. I'm not, in no way, shape or form, I'm not giving him any respect. It's amazing. I mean, look, answers in the comments. I don't have an answer for how you can play 15 games out of a possible 63 in 23-24. You can play 12 games out of a possible 66 in 24-25. And then in 25-26, when you're 30, you can play 24 games out of a possible 24. There's probably a very simple explanation, but I don't know whether it's correct. In both those seasons we were talking about, we played a lot more games. We played weekend, midweek. Luke Shaw, is he a player that can only do 1 game a week? And if it's 1 game a week, is he absolutely fine? His body can deal with 1 game a week. But when you go back to Europe, his body can't deal with it. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's some sort of yoga shit, or maybe it's some sort of fitness plan. But United need to change this attitude. It's not just applicable to Luke Shaw. Victor Lindelof was here for way too long. Dalot has been here for 7 years. Harry Maguire's coming up for 7 years. Luke Shaw's been here for 11. Like, these are not players that have won us trophies, got us anywhere near big trophies, Premier Leagues, Champions League, and they're not going to. So if we're Manchester United and we're here to be best in class and we're here to win trophies, I look at even like Newcastle with Hall, Calafiore at Spurs, O'Reilly, at Arsenal, O'Reilly at Man City, Andy Robertson at Liverpool, and they're now trying to change it with Kirkes. There's a running theme here of really good left-backs, and Manchester United need, and we're going to be playing a back 4 from now on, we need 2 cracking fullbacks. We need 2 fullbacks. Man United are about energy. Man United are about risks. Man United are about fullbacks that can get forward and attack and get back and defend. Luke Shaw's hitting 31 in the summer with a dubious injury record. I think it's time to change. I think we'll need him next season. I think he'll be a bit of a senior pro that can play his part. But as a first-team footballer, I think it ends in the summer for me. You bring in a left-back that's going to play left-back, and Luke Shaw becomes the understudy because he can't play 2 games a week. So not only am I saying no deal, I'm also saying backup left-back next season. We need to move on. I don't think his injury record is going to last. That's my thoughts. Get your comments in. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Yes, this has been another sit down with Mark Goldbridge, but let me know your thoughts. Get in the comments. Speak to you in a bit. Smash a like.